Welcome to Book Bites. Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Man's Search for Meaning is a book by Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, who shares his experiences and insights from living in Nazi concentration camps during World War II. He describes how he and other prisoners coped with the horrors of camp life by finding meaning and purpose in their suffering. He also introduces his theory of logotherapy, a form of psychotherapy that focuses on helping people discover their unique reasons for living. The book consists of two parts. The first part is Frankl's personal account of his imprisonment, and the second part is an explanation of logotherapy and its applications. Part 1: Experiences in a Concentration Camp. Frankl begins by describing his arrival at Auschwitz, the most notorious of the Nazi death camps. He recalls the shock and horror of witnessing the brutal selection process, where those who were deemed unfit for work were sent to the gas chambers. He also remembers the loss of his belongings, his clothes, and his identity, as he was stripped of everything that made him human and reduced to a number. He then narrates his daily life in the camp, where he faced constant hunger, cold, disease, violence, and humiliation. He observes how the prisoners reacted differently to their situation, and how some of them became indifferent, apathetic, or even cruel, while others retained their dignity, compassion, and hope. He identifies 3 stages of psychological reactions that the prisoners went through: shock during the initial admission phase, apathy after becoming accustomed to camp existence, and depersonalization after liberation. Frankl also recounts some of the most memorable events and episodes that he witnessed or experienced in the camp, such as the death of his friend who had a dream of liberation that turned out to be false, the suicide of another friend who had lost his faith in God and in life, the transport of his sick patients to another camp where he knew they would be killed, the execution of a young woman who smiled bravely before being hanged for her involvement in a resistance movement, the arrival of a group of prisoners from another camp who brought with them a violin and played music for their fellow inmates, the liberation of the camp by American soldiers, and the difficulty of adjusting to freedom. Throughout his ordeal, Frankl tries to find meaning in his suffering and to hold on to his human spirit. He finds meaning in his work as a doctor, in his love for his wife who he hopes is still alive, and his faith in God who he believes has a plan for him, and in his will to live who he sees as a challenge from life. He also finds meaning in the small moments of beauty, joy, humor, or kindness that he encounters in the camp, such as the sight of a sunset or a starry sky that reminds him of the beauty of nature and art, the taste of a piece of bread or a bowl of soup that gives him a feeling of gratitude and satisfaction, the joke or anecdote that he shares with his friends that makes him laugh and forget his troubles, the gesture or word of sympathy that he receives or gives to another prisoner that creates a bond of solidarity and friendship. Frankl argues that finding meaning in suffering is not only possible but necessary for survival. He cites examples of prisoners who gave up on life and died quickly after losing their sense of meaning or hope. He also cites examples of prisoners who survived against all odds because they had a strong reason to live. He concludes that meaning can be found in any situation, even in the most hopeless one. Part 2: Logotherapy in a Nutshell. In the second part of the book, Frankl explains the basic principles and concepts of logotherapy, which is derived from the Greek word logos meaning meaning. Logotherapy is based on the premise that the primary motivation of human beings is not pleasure or power but meaning. Frankl believes that people are free to choose their attitude toward any given situation and to find meaning in it. He distinguishes between 3 types of values or meanings that people can pursue: creative values, experiential values, and attitudinal values. He also distinguishes between 3 types of existential problems or frustrations that people may face: existential frustration, existential guilt, and existential anxiety. I hope this gives you an idea of what the book is about. I upload new videos every week, so make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified when I post a new summary. If you have any suggestions or requests for books you want me to cover, feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you so much for watching.